the stick bait. This guy right here is probably the most popular bass fishing bait that exists, and it works great, but we're gonna show you guys 3 ways you can modify this to catch more fish. So I was hanging out with the team here at Carl's, and we were talking about the stick bait the other day. You know, we brought up how it's like one of the most productive baits out there, and it's so simple, but not only does it catch a ton of fish as is, there's actually a bunch of different ways you can kind of trim this guy up and use it to catch more fish. So I wanted to share those with you guys here today because we were just talking about it, and I think it's kind of a cool concept. And at the end of this video, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. Like, do you do this? Do you guys rig these up a certain way? I'm just curious. So we're gonna go ahead and show you 3 different ways that, you know, we can modify this so that, you know, you can fish it differently for the most part. The first way that we're gonna modify this is gonna be one that I'm honestly not too hip to. I love the way that it looks. I just haven't played around with it too much. So the first way to, like, I guess modify this would be to rig it 𝗙cie rig. Now, if you guys have never seen a 𝗙cie rig before, it's essentially where you take like a nail head and stick it into a soft plastic. They actually make 𝗙cie nails as well. I actually have some right here, so I'll go ahead and shove one in there for you guys. This is a really cool, unique way to fish the stick bait, in my opinion, and it gives a bait like this a way different action. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take this little nail and we're just gonna shove it into the flat part of this stick bait. And if you guys don't have these specific weights, you can just literally get a nail from your toolbox and shove it in there as well. It works just the same. So as you guys could see right here, I have a nail in the top of my bait. And then what we're gonna do after this is we're gonna basically 𝗙cie rig it. So like halfway up the worm, we're gonna just stick a hook through it, just like you would a 𝗙cie rig. So I know that looks kind of goofy, but when you guys cast it in the water, it hits the bottom and sticks straight up like this. And when you pop it, that weight holds that bait to the bottom, and it just gives it a really cool, unique action. So it's a different way to fish, you know, off the bottom. I haven't explored this option myself too often, but some of the people I was talking to swear by it. So I know that's not exactly a modification, but you are shoving a nail in the end of it. So it's definitely different. And then we have the next modification. That is to snip up your stick bait so that it has like a skirt. This is one that you know, my buddy Gavin was telling me about, and I never really seen it before. I've heard, you know, I've seen a few baits. I think like Z-Man makes a very similar bait like this, but essentially what you would do is you would Texas rig this bait, or however you would like to rig it up, I suppose, and you're gonna take a pair of scissors and you're gonna snip up the end of the bait. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it straight down like this. And then I'm gonna cut it again up those 2 pieces that I just cut. And boom, there we have it. Look at that. You have basically a 𝗙cie that became almost like a tube. Very interesting. And it's gonna change up the action. It's really just gonna make this bait look unique. So that was one that a lot of people were like swearing by. They're like, I know it sounds crazy to cut up a stick bait because it already works great, but some people like to change it up. And this was one of the ways that they did it. So let me know in the comment section, have you guys ever fished a stick bait like this? Kind of like a big tube. And then the third modification is my favorite. You basically just take the 𝗙cie and you turn it into a Ned Rig. Now, I know you guys can go out there and you can buy Ned Rigs and things like that, but the reason that I like doing this is because you're gonna get more life out of your stick bait. When you guys fish a stick bait Texas rig, after so many fish, the top of the bait gets all ripped up, the middle gets all ripped up. You can't really put it on a hook anymore. So what you end up doing is you take this bait, you rip it off, you throw it in the boat, or you just get rid of it. it's done, and you move on to the next one, you rig up a new one, and you start fishing again. If you take all your leftover stick baits that are all ripped up and everything like that and just cut the bottom half off, you guys got yourself a perfectly good Ned Rig. Now, in my opinion, this is great because for the most part, that bottom half of the worm, or stick bait for that matter, never really gets touched by the fish. It's very rare that that part gets really ripped up. So I'm gonna go ahead, cut that off, stick it on a Ned Rig mushroom head, and boom, look at that. I got myself a perfectly good Ned Rig. Then you can get rid of the rest of your bait, do whatever you want with it. But if you guys are gonna have a bunch of ripped up stick baits, you might as well create yourself some Ned Rigs. It's free, why wouldn't you do it, right? So that's my favorite way to modify the stick bait. So there you guys have it. Nothing too crazy, just kind of a unique way to take one of the most popular baits in fishing and use it differently. Let me know in the comment section down below. Did you guys think this video was cool? Are you interested in modifying your baits, or do you just want to use them for what they're meant to be used for? I'd really like to know in the comment section down below. This was just a fun conversation that kind of popped up while we were all planning videos and stuff like that for Carl's. So we ended up turning it into a video. So if you guys have any suggestions for videos or any cool ideas, leave them in the comment section down below as well. We're always open to making videos for you guys. It is my goal to try and make the content that you guys want to see. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Jordan. I'm from the channel TightLineTV. And if you guys are new here and you want to learn more about fishing, consider hitting that subscribe button. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time.